What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to talk about the engine break-in for your Scatpack or Hellcat. There seems to be a lot of information going around that you can just drive these cars however you want off the lot and somehow your car is going to be fine and dandy for the rest of its life. And the problem with that is these engineers for SRT and Dodge specifically have these recommendations for the car so that it can provide longevity and to make sure that the performance is there, because that's what it's engineered for. So if you have a 6.4 liter Hemi V8 or the 6.2 liter supercharged Hemi V8, you're gonna want to break in the engine before you do anything if it's a new car right off the lot. So if you open up your Dodge books that they give you, specifically this one for the 6.2 6.4 liter, on page 19 it tells you a specific set of rules for each stage of the break-in process for the engine. Now before we get started, I did see on some forums saying that Dodge runs their engines for 45 minutes on the dyno before they let them out. And even if that is true, 45 minutes on a dyno is definitely not a sustained amount of driving for the engine break-in. I also saw another comment that said that the break-in recommendation was for mainly the powertrain, but literally on this page here it says starting and operating. Engine break-in recommendations for 6.2 and 6.4 liter. It doesn't say powertrain break-in, but it says engine break-in. For the first 0 to 100 miles, it says do not allow the engine to operate at idle for an extended period of time, and to press the accelerator pedal slowly and not more than halfway to avoid rapid acceleration. So obviously 0 to 100 miles is probably the most crucial, because you don't want to break in the engine too poorly in those early stages where everything is barely seated properly. Then it goes on to say avoid aggressive braking, drive with the engine speed at less than 3,500 RPM, maintain vehicle speed below 55 miles per hour, and that's all for 0 to 100 miles. But as you can see, you cannot just drive the vehicle like you just stole it when you get off the lot. If you have a car with 2 miles on it or 100 miles on it, there's still a procedure you should take if you don't want your car to be having the Hemi tick or having rods fly out of your engine. And people usually blame these Diablo Sport tunes or can tunes in general, but the real reason is most likely they didn't break in the car and then they run their engine very hard and then they add a tune to it, and the next thing you know it's just a recipe for disaster. So for the first 100 to 300 miles, it says press the accelerator pedal slowly and not more than halfway to avoid rapid acceleration in lower gears, so first to third gears. Avoid aggressive braking, drive with the engine speed at less than 5,000 RPM, and maintain vehicle speed below 70 miles per hour. Then from 300 to 500 miles, we have exercise the full engine RPM range, shifting manually at higher RPM when possible. Do not perform sustained operation with the accelerator pedal at wide open throttle. So do not perform sustained operation. So obviously from 300 to 500 miles, it says do not go full throttle for a sustained amount of time. Now, why does it say that? Because the engine needs to be broken in properly. So if you, like I said earlier, if you're driving and spinning the wheels at 5 miles right off the lot, you're definitely not going to be doing yourself or the engine any favors by not following this procedure. Maintain vehicle speed below 85 miles per hour. So that's from 300 to 500 miles. Then after that, I think you unlock the launch control and track mode for the vehicle, which still does not mean that you should be going into track or launching the vehicle at 500 miles. That's still way too soon, and you haven't even had the first oil change. So right off the bat, I would still not be driving the car aggressively from 300 to 500 miles. After that, the final step is for the first 1,500 miles, do not participate in track events, sport driving schools, or similar activities during the first 1,500 miles. Check engine oil with every refueling and add if necessary. Oil and fuel consumption may be higher through the first oil change interval. Running the engine with an oil level below the add mark can cause severe engine damage. So what does that tell you? It is an engine break-in procedure, and you have to follow it if you want your car to last longer than 30,000, 50,000 miles, or whatever the premature engine failures for these cars. It says recommended engine break-in, but to be honest with you, you don't lose anything from following the break-in procedure. If anything, you're only going to gain longevity and better performance out of your 6.2 liter supercharged Hellcat or 6.4 liter Hemi Scatpack. So if I were you, it's best to follow the engine procedure. Like I said, you'll find that in your little booklet that they give you for these cars. I think the 3.6 liter and the 5.7 liter have a whole different break-in procedure. It might even be less than the 1,500 miles that you need for the Scatpack and Hellcats. But you definitely should follow all the guidelines for these cars. That way they can perform how they're supposed to. But yeah, so I thought I just wanted to clear that up. I don't see why it should be a debatable topic. If you want the best for your vehicle, I would recommend following the break-in procedure, because that's the only way that you're going to know for sure that you did everything you can before the engine fails prematurely. If it does. Especially if you're going to be going with tunes and supporting mods on your car, you want to make sure that you have an engine that can handle that. All right, well, thanks guys for tuning in. Pretty short one today. I just wanted to put that one out there because I know some people, they don't read their manuals, so you don't really know what's going on with your cars. And you know, it's good to know these things. That way when you're on the road, this is not just for the engine, but it's also for, you know, the suspension components, your tires. All this is for the car to slowly be broken in properly so that you can utilize its full potential on the road. So go ahead and you know, give me a follow, comment, like, all that good stuff. I'm trying to get the Diablo Sport tuner and PCM swap, but living in California, it's kind of hard to circumnavigate that procedure here. So hopefully we're able to get one soon. But in the meantime, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.